In this tutorial, I want to walk you through how you can import your users or customers from another platform, like a community or course platform, and move them into HighLevel and give them access to your course or community in HighLevel based on what it is that they purchased. In a previous video, I already went over how to import a CSV file, but I'm going to give you a quick refresher along with a little tip that'll make this migration that much easier. Even if you already have your contacts in HighLevel, that's okay. We're going to use the update feature. We're going to go into our sub account. We're going into contacts, and then we're going to find our import button. We're going to import contacts by hitting next. Then we're going to import our CSV file. So here's what I'm going to import. I'm going to import just the email addresses of the contacts and a column that I'm going to call tags. And this is going to give them a temporary tag based on the product or offer or community that they're going to get access to inside of my HighLevel account. Now, don't be concerned here. If they have existing tags inside of HighLevel, this is not going to overwrite those tags. It's not going to get rid of existing tags. It's just going to add these tags. So depending on the platform that you're exporting from, maybe you're going to get a list of the products that they had access to. Those could be your tags, or you can just do a simple version like this, where I like to create a temporary tag. Let's call it like course A import. I'll put like a dash import, and I'll repeat that process for all of my tags because these are temporary. I'm really only using these tags in order to identify who is being imported, and then I'll just ignore the tag or I can delete the tag later. So with my file here, I'm going to save this as a CSV and go back to HighLevel. Here we are at that same screen we left off. Let me go ahead and grab my import file here and let me drag it in. Then let me hit next. Here you can see those are the import tags and the emails. That's totally fine. As long as it maps to email and tags based on the list that I showed you, we're good to go. Here's our update empty values. I'm going to leave both of those checked just so that we don't override anything and hit next. Confirm everything looks good. Check the box that you confirm it and hit start bulk import. Now, depending on the size of your list, this could take a couple of minutes. Because mine was super small, it's going to be instantaneous. And I can check that by going into any of my contacts here, scrolling down, and I can just check that they have the import tag. Perfect. So our list came through. I'm going to create a new workflow. And you might be thinking, wait, Doug, you imported before your workflow was ready? Yes, because the method that I'm showing you is a super conservative, safe way of importing without having to worry about messing anything up on the import. This gives you a chance to look at your customer data before you run them through an automation. Super easy to do. All right, you can give your import a name. I'm going to call mine course A import. That's because I recommend creating an individual import automation based on the product that they have. You can technically do an if else, but the problem with that is what if people have access to multiple different things? I tend to find that this is just much simpler, one automation per course or community. So we're going to leave the trigger blank. I'll show you why later. We're going to add in a step here to grant access to an offer. And yes, your offer does need to be made already. If it's not already made, you need to watch a video that I'll link down below in the description and at the end of the video for how to create your offer, your course, or your community. I have a whole playlist on how to do that. But we're going to choose course grant offer because this is for course A. So now I'm going to select my offer. I'll just pretend that's it, hit save. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove my import tag. This is optional based on how your brain works with tags, but I like to remove the import tag to signify to myself that this has been completed. So I'll say remove contact tag. I'll remove course A import. Now, optionally, if you haven't imported the tag with the product that they do have access to and you want to do it at this stage, depending on where you're importing from, you may not have had those tags ready. This is a great opportunity to give them a tag, add contact tag, for the product that they now have. It makes it easy to contact all these people in the future. So there we go, I've added the tag. Now here's a little pro tip. It's what I do on my imports. Under memberships, client portal settings, you're going to see email settings. This is going to bring you to the client portal, email settings, communities, courses, etc. Depending on what they're getting access to, for example, course or community, there's an email that goes out. When you're doing these imports, you may wish to temporarily disable this email, or you may wish to fully customize it depending upon what you want them to receive. Depending on how many products they have, if we go through adding them to each one, they may be flooded with emails. I technically like to come in here under memberships, client portal settings, email settings, and I like to disable that welcome email temporarily. Now, HighLevel did recently give us the option to edit the default email templates and to customize them fully, but that doesn't get rid of this idea that they're going to be flooded with welcome emails for all the different products that they have. So I like to turn all of these off when I'm doing my import. So I'll turn off my welcome email under courses, and I'll typically come in under communities and turn off the join to the group, which goes to the user. I'll turn that off just to be safe. You can look through these notifications and see if there's any that you want to turn off. If you want to turn them all off just to be safe, you can do that. Now let's go back to our automation that we created. Let's add a step here and let's go ahead and do send email. Now, if you want, you could make this a template email. That's totally fine. Or you can just write a super simple text-based email here. I'll give you that option. I do have a whole video on how to create and use template emails. I'll also put that link in the description of this video where you can choose a pre-made email that you've put here and it'll just populate it for you. It gives you more design control if that's your thing. But really the key that we're looking for is the custom variable for them to click on to log in. So you'll type your email out, whichever builder you use, the template or the simple text email, and you'll say, welcome to the new platform. Click this link below to get access. You're going to create your account. All the products that you have access to should be added soon, or you can say you have them now, however you want to do it. But what we're looking to do is create a link here. Let's just say click here to log in, or if we're using buttons in the email builder template section, you can put this in a button. But we want to add in a custom value. So the custom value is going to be, if I just click on this little custom values button, we're looking for client portal contact, login URL magic link. And we're going to copy this here, copy it, and then we're going to highlight our text or put this in our button, add a link. URL input is the member contact login value that we just copied, and we'll just say open in self, that's fine. And now we've created a magic link in the email that they're going to get that when they click on it, will take them instantly to the portal where they can log in. Now here's what's cool. They won't have a password yet, but that's fine. The very first screen that they see will say, create a password. It'll know who they are because it's their magic login link. And when they click it for the first time, they'll have to set a password. On subsequent clicks of this link, they won't have to set a password. It'll just ask them to log in or to log them in automatically or enter their password. So they're good to go there. So write your email, get it all set up, hit save action. Now, you might be asking, well, I don't want them to get this email every single time if I've imported them to 5 different courses. That's okay, because before this step, we're just going to click a condition here. We're going to put if else. And here's where we are using an if else, and this will be in every automation, which you can just duplicate to save time. And this is going to see, do they have the tag includes, and we're just going to start typing here to create a new tag. We're going to call this our migration welcome email. So with the tag migration welcome email, if they have that tag, I'm going to search for it again. There we go, migration welcome email. Then what we're going to do is we're going to not send them the email. So I need to move this email to the other column here. So I'll say move, and you could have created this before. You could have set this if else up before we created the email, but you can see how easy it is to move things. So if they already have the migration welcome email, do nothing, end the automation. We granted them access, but they don't need this a second time. Now, if they don't have that tag, it means they haven't received the welcome email. So we're going to send it to them, and then we're going to add the tag that says migration welcome email. So they've been brought in, they've been granted access to the course. We removed the migration tag. We added the tag for the product that they had. Those steps were optional. We did a check. Have they received their welcome email? Yes. Then don't send it to them again. No. Then send it to them and add the tag. We'll go ahead and save that automation, and we're good to go. Now, once you have your automation ready to go, you're ready to start adding the students or members who have access to your products to the products that they have tagged. So we're going to come back to our contact section under our smart list, and we're going to filter based on the product that we want to add to each individual automation. So for example, I made course A as my automation. So now I'm going to bring in all the people who should have access to course A. Now, since I might be looking at a list of 10,000 people, I need to make sure that I apply a filter. So under my contacts here, I'm going to hit more filters, and I'm going to filter by whoever has the tag. And the tag I'm looking for is community A import. And this will give me all the people that I brought over in my import who have this tag. Now I'm going to select all the contacts. And if you have more than fit on a single page, you'll just hit the little link right around here that says select all. Then we're going to click this button that says Add to Automation. We're going to give it a name. We'll call this our import to course A. And then you'll select the workflow that you want to add them to, which is going to be the one that corresponds with the product that they should have access to. And then down here under mode, you can send all at once if you have a small number. I'd say if you're adding like less than 100 people at a time, that's totally fine. If you're going to send out, I think, a large number, I would recommend doing a drip mode and batch them in quantities of 20 to 50, and then repeat every, I don't know, few hours or so, something like that, just so that you're not sending so many that it triggers like issues with inboxes or things like that. It's just a little bit of a safety precaution, particularly if your account, your HighLevel sub account is new and you haven't warmed up your dedicated sending domain yet. Definitely want to drip those out. Now, I'm not going to add this example to my account here, but I am going to show you under the automation. I did run a test with my own user here. You can see that my tester went through. If I go to my tester account, you'll see that an email was sent. I don't have my dedicated sending domain set up on my test account, but you will see it was my test email. That's the only email that this user received, which is perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. And if I scroll down here down to course offers, you can see that they have access to the demo course, which is what I added for my course A inside of my automation. So that worked perfectly. If you were adding them to a community group, you would see the community groups that they had access to right below it. Now, all that's left is to repeat that process for however many products that you have. I recommend setting up all your automations in one go, set one up like I just did, then just duplicate it, swap out the tag names, stuff like that. And by following the example of the welcome email, users who get invited maybe to 5+ courses or multiple courses and a community aren't going to be hit with multiple emails unless you want them to, and you can leave that part out. But that's all there is to know about migrating your members and students from one platform into HighLevel.